All right. So our pick and roll tonight, we wanted to have a little fun. So there are 7 coaching positions available currently in the NFL. So we are deciding which spot would be best for Bill Belichick from Carolina, Las Vegas, Los Angeles Chargers, Atlanta, Washington, Tennessee, and Seattle. We're going to rank them from 7 to 1. Ron, again, you are first this week. Just a quick point out our new banners up there. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, get your name right above me during each one of our segments here, and we'll definitely make sure we shout out your business. But Ron, you are first, 7 to 1. This is more just a personal opinion. There's not a lot of stats to this. So I can't wait to hear which direction you went.
All right. So number 7, I actually have Washington.
Wow.
They have Howell and Brissett and Fromm as their quarterbacks, and I don't think he can win with them. And I don't see him going there at all. I don't like the situation there, even though they have a pretty good receiver.
Yeah, McLaurin.
Yeah, but I don't think that's where he's going to go. I think that's least likely with the quarterbacks that he has there.
Okay.
Number 6, I have Tennessee. The talented players are really aging. So I don't see him wanting to retool on the offense there when he didn't do it in New England. I don't think he wants Tannehill as his quarterback or Levis.
Yeah.
So I think that is less likely. I mean, he has Henry there, but for how long?
Yeah, they don't know if that's going to. Yeah,
So I have Tennessee at number 6. Now it starts getting interesting. Number 5, I have Atlanta. And again, Heineke, Ritter, I just don't see that being a situation he wants to go to and see what happens there. I mean, he could win with them, but I don't think that's likely. I don't see it happening. Number 4, Carolina. Now, you have Young as your quarterback.
Bryce Young, yeah.
He might like him as a quarterback. And if that's the case, there's a possibility that he could go. And look, they were terrible last year, but really, I think that was more coaching. Because I thought they added a lot of pieces that could have won that division. And there might be some pieces on this team that he might like, and he might take a shot at this team.
Okay.
With Young as a quarterback,
I
think that could happen. Number 3, I have Seattle.
Wow.
I think it's just because of the talent that's there. Yes, Geno Smith is Geno Smith, and, but he can do some things. And you have a receiver over there, in case you haven't heard.
Yeah, some Metcalf guy. Yeah, he's all right.
Some guy who's pretty damn good. And I think he likes players like that. And that might be intriguing. And that could be a landing spot. But still, I see Vrabel going there.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I have Las Vegas. I think it would just be really funny, again, going somewhere where your guy was just at and failed miserably to even control any part of that team.
Yeah.
When you look at those pieces there, you have a great receiver. You have
Max Crosby.
Yes, Crosby.
Defense. Yeah,
they've
got talent
there. And he could make that team win. So that is interesting. And there's also some guy, Garoppolo. I don't know. He might like that.
He likes Jimmy G. He's got a little.
Yes, he does.
Little thing for Jimmy.
Does. So that is highly possible. But the place I think he should go, and probably would if they offer, and and that's the Chargers. I mean, that team, I don't know how they didn't. I don't even know how they didn't win the division, let alone make the playoffs. I mean, you got Herbert there. You have tons and
Yeah.
tons of
Khalil
talent,
Mack, right? They got some
both
good guys.
sides of the ball. There is no excuse that this team did not make the playoffs. That is just horrible coaching. Horrible coaching. I think out of all these teams, those two could be where he lands. If Dallas loses, he goes Dallas.
Okay. All right. We saw this completely different, and I love it. So I had Seattle at 7, and not because of the talent, but if you think about what they just did, they got rid of that 73-year-old coach. I don't think they're going to want to bring him in.
Followed him in New England.
Yeah, but does that make sense though? Like, hey, you're getting old. We think you're losing something. We're going to bring the guy that's the second oldest coach.
Yeah.
And bring. So I don't see it. I went Vegas at 6. And you think about the players that were there, didn't like Josh McDaniel's style, very similar to Bill Belichick. It wouldn't work. They kind of mutinied, didn't want to play, didn't play hard. I don't know if he could change that.
Josh McDaniels.
I know, but I'm just saying that's what a lot of them said. They tried to be a mini Bill and they didn't like it. And so I don't see
gotta be Bill.
I just don't see it. 5, I went Tennessee. I think the division's very tough. Houston made the playoffs. Again, a lot of money to spend. They're going to be even more improved. Jacksonville, still a good team. Indianapolis almost made the playoffs. So he's looking at it. That division might be tough for him to be able to get in and be successful. In the quarterback situation, to your point, still a little questionable. I went the Chargers at 4. And the reason I went the Chargers at 4 is he'd still have to face Patrick Mahomes to win the division, which could be very difficult. I don't know. Again, when I'm looking at this from a situation of what's my easiest ride to get to the playoffs and possibly win, anything can happen in the playoffs. We all know that. So I don't know if he'd be in a dogfight every, for the next couple of years with Kansas City. And so I think that might be difficult. I went Carolina at 3. 4th best defense last year in the league. So they got a very good defense already. Again, the organization, I think, needs a clear-cut person that runs everything because they don't have it. Dave Tepper, we talked about last week, he's throwing drinks at people and doing. They need somebody that can honestly start to show this organization how it needs to be run. And I think that would be interesting.
Carolina.
Yeah. But again, your question marks would be the draft because again, you lost that pick to Chicago. So where they pick if they even get a first round pick, I don't think they do. And then secondly, the quarterback.
They moved down anyway with Belichick.
Yeah, the second, the quarterback situation. I went Washington at 2. Number one team in cap space, $86 million. He can get some players in quick and try to turn that thing around. Issue would be, again, they got rid of some of their best defensive guys, but maybe they could bring them back on different deals. And again, he likes
credit. He's really good at spotting defensive talent.
Yeah. And again, it's an area he likes. His dad with the Navy and all that. That's where they kind of. So you may see Washington.
Did he sail the 7 seas?
I don't know. At 1 though, I went Atlanta, and I went Atlanta because it's the far easiest way for him to get to 15 wins and beat Don Shula's record because you're looking at Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Carolina in your division. Very easily could get, if he gets he gets a quarterback in there, you get me 10, 11 wins the first year, 10, 11. Next thing you know, you're the all-time winningest coach in a division that clearly could be taken. What Tampa Bay win this? 9-7? 9-8. 9-8. Last year, Tom Brady, when he was 7-10, I think it was, they made the playoffs because that division's easy to take. I think Atlanta makes the most sense for him. We've been thinking about it from the talent standpoint. He wants a team, right? But think about it from a standpoint of what's in my division. Can I beat them? Can I get 6 easy wins there? And all I got to do now, right, is get a few more. I'm making the playoffs.
Get in New England.
Right? Because all those teams, think about it. Buffalo sucked for how many years? The Jets stunk for how
Lots.
many years, right?
Lots.
Miami stunk for how many years? All they
Lots.
did is get those 6 wins there. You win 4 or 5 somewhere else. You're getting 11, 12 wins. Next thing you know, you're in the playoffs. Anything can happen. That's his best opportunity, Atlanta. As crazy
Yeah.
as it sounds.
No, that actually, you know what? That actually sounds logical too. So, it's all in what the perspective is. And, there's a lot of factors. This just goes to show you, everybody's breaking down this same subject. And it'll be interesting to see where all the chips fall.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, Vrabel, Carroll, along with Belichick, are all going to be looking for a spot. Maybe even Bill O'Brien and Josh McDaniels could find a spot somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
maybe with Bill.
Yeah.
So,
Lot
so
of
there's going to
coaching.
be a lot of people looking for those spots. And then you got to throw in all those names that have been in the mix the last few years as well. So it's going to be a fun off season.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right, my friend. That is our pick and roll.